Good evening, campers, and welcome back to Mars. This is Surviving Mars, Bristol Colony, Day 5, Sol 5, actually, Episode 2. And when we last left our colony, we were starting to build some of our interior buildings for our dome, and we're close to finishing at least what we've planned. We still got our grocer to go and our school. We've got a landing platform we're working on and a couple of other things, and then we should be ready very shortly to bring our colonists to Mars and begin our founders phase. And if you're not sure what a founders phase is, I will explain it a little bit closer to our colonists' arrival. Let's go ahead and finish connecting our support system here. So it's going to take up a good portion of the outer rim of our colony. All right, looking good. I also wanted to build a couple of wind turbines. So I think I'm going to build 2 here. I think I've got enough room for that. So one here, and then one there. And like with a lot of these city building games, I want to avoid putting too many things in the queue for the game to build, because I'd like for it to kind of catch up and get done with what we already have, and then we'll move on to some other stuff. But these are kind of important, getting the piping system connected fully so that we've got a closed life support system. And actually, I'm thinking that might be a little too close. So let's make a change there. Let's do that over here, I think. Yeah, there should be enough room for the colonists to run in. So that'll be our passenger, or at least one of our landing pads for the moment. How are we doing on fuel? So 9 and 18. It's going to school. Oh, that school actually does require some advanced parts. So we should be producing fuel. We are 12 per sol. That's really good. And we've got our oxygen and our water systems fully connected. As you can see, we've got quite a nice production going on there. And our windmills over here should start getting resources. There, the first machine parts are arriving, and that's from our some of that I think was from our supply dropship in the previous episode. Our water reclamation system, once we get that researched, which we're actually gonna move that up a little bit. Still working on Martian vegetation after a while. Actually, we need to see if there's any anomalies that we haven't researched yet. Oh, there's one way up there. Oh, let's go check it out. Today's music selection is Radio Free Earth. One of my favorite stations, so that'd be nice since we're about to liberate a group of colonists from Earth, bring them out here to deep space with us, so that the work of our little drones will not be in vain. Nice view of our growing colony at night.
Resources are low.
So we're running low on metals, huh? Okay. There's always a way to get metals, especially. And we've got potential to set up the metals extractor. We've got 880 over there. We may do that later. How's our school coming along? Looking good. We've still got a lot of cargo being unloaded from the recently arrived rocket. Polymers, electronics, and machine parts. Again, big mistake not bringing along a prefabricated electronics factory and a couple other things, but either we'll bring one more cargo rocket or we will try to see if we can get some of that cargo added to the passenger rocket when we bring our colonists to Mars. Got a little guy over here collecting our metals. The school is kind of the top priority at the moment because it's been sitting in the queue for so long. So it'll be built before any of our giant turbines are built or the auxiliary landing platform is built. Got one there, and I think that this is the last one. Yep. There's the last two pieces that we will need for our school to go up in the dome. At this point, I'm not really seeing a reason for us to build anything else inside the dome because the other spaces we need for the prefabs, so the electronics factory and other things. All right, now we should start seeing the turbines go up, and then hopefully we will see the landing platform over here go up. We've got some really good production going on, though. So we do need more power accumulators, though. There we go. And I don't necessarily have to wait on that stuff to get finished before we bring colonists here, because they can be in transit while that stuff's being built. But these windmills are awesome, though. I really like these giant turbines. I can't speak for sure if they're part of the base game or not, but just kind of remember them being there one day. I may have just not have paid attention to them. And then one day, just boom, giant wind turbines. Looking good with our metals over here. Nobody has bothered to come over and work on the new platform, but that's fine. We've got some of the more critical stuff being worked on. Polymers being delivered to the matter power accumulators. I think that we will order our passenger rocket right after we manage to launch one of these two. And it looks like the first rocket that we brought, Revelation, is going to be able to launch first. We've got a couple of moisture vaporizers, evaporators as they're called. Ah, one of our turbines is up. Look at this thing. Love it. And it generates 10.2. So already, a huge boost to our power grid, which is already a pretty solid structure. Pretty much just waiting on concrete at this point. Waste rock. I used to kind of worry about waste rock, and I hope I'm not proven wrong, because like I said, I'm not a total expert on some of the end game protocols for this. But I don't tend to focus too much on disposing of the waste rock. I think it's fine where it's at. You can build a dumping site, which is here.
Research complete.
And that will... Oh, cool. Finally. We can move on. Oh, and we already got 34% of our... low high-rise stuff. That's really cool. And the magnetic filtering, again, that's stuff that can benefit us. Survival stuff. So where did our... Oh. Okay. No. So go back. Ah. Okay, there we go. There it is, way up there. Kind of like the, I think that's one of the promo images right there for Surviving Mars. It's the RC controller or the Explorer in the middle of nowhere on the surface of the red planet. Yeah, kind of like. And there she goes. Called Butler #1. It's a weird name. What are we doing over here? 19 of 30, 25 of 30. So yeah, we're definitely going to be able to send Revelation home first, which is okay, I guess. And I know it's kind of weird, but if we haven't finished, if they haven't even started on this landing platform over here, by the time Revelation launches, I think we're just going to go ahead and move the launch pad, or the landing pad over here, where that rocket is. That way it can free up this this region over here for us to build another dome, because we will be building many more domes across the surface of Mars. Let's do that. So let's go ahead and, for the second time, eliminate that landing pad. We're about ready for our second turbine to go up, and should start getting concrete deliveries to and the metals are good because now some of our stuff that requires maintenance we'll hopefully start getting maintenance performed on it. I think this is our last piece of concrete needed to bring up our next turbine, so that'll be an additional 10 to our power generation. And we've got another power accumulator that's gone up in the back there. So we've got quite a solid and reliable power system at this point. There we go. So 106 to 53 demand. And yeah, so we've got our power system filling up. 15 hours of backup power, 7 sols of water, 6 sols of oxygen. And that's just, we're just at half of our oxygen capacity. Like, we haven't even filled up completely yet. Make both of those a high priority. I need those rockets fueled and out of here. I think we've got carrying nothing. Carrying nothing. Is anybody carrying fuel? No? I'm generating 12 per sol. Where's it all going? Our colony's looking good. Alright, so now let's order a passenger rocket. I need engineers. That's my big thing. And let's see, we've gone with biblical names for this one, Exodus and Revelation. Since this is the beginning of our colonists, this is Genesis. The Genesis rocket, not to be confused with the Doomsday weapon from Star Trek. The Genesis rocket will soon be arriving with our first colonists. So if you look down there on the bottom, we've got 2% of distance traveled. That means that our first Bristol residents are on their way to Mars. And we are just a few minutes away from launching one of our supply rockets back home. Two power accumulators done. So we boosted our current backup power to 17 hours. That's good. And we've got buildings not working because we have no one to work them. Goes our third accumulator. Nice. Good to go. So that brings us up to a stored capacity of 1,400. So we're approaching 1 sol of battery power, backup power, that is, which should be more than enough time for us to fix at least basic power generation in the event of some kind of a catastrophe. We have got to get moving. It is Sol 7, and we have not put any colonists in this colony.
Anomaly found.
We've just found the wreckage of Phobos 2.
Phobos 2?
The old probe even had some new data for us to analyze.
Anomaly found.
And we got some new anomalies discovered. So our explorer can... I think... Oh, there we go. Got our exploration rover out there exploring those anomalies, and that's what pushed us over the edge to be able to be done with our terraforming research. Looking good now. We're up to 20 hours on our standby power. I think that's the last bit of fuel that's going up the ramp there. There it is. Okay. We are going to send Revelation home. And the rover's going to get off the ramp, and the ship is going to depart.
Milestone achieved.
Ah, we got a little bit of science for that. Launching our rocket away from Mars. Hopefully that little drone gets away, because it can get damaged if it's too close. Oh, that's not allowed. I think we can... I think we can convince them to finish this before our other rocket gets here. I mean, they haven't really paid much attention to the other landing pads I've put down. This one seems a little more strategic in its location, though. Pads are important, though, because you can put them closer to your structures, and your structures won't accumulate as much dust and debris from the landing. So these are a great way to protect your structures from landing rockets. Plus, they look cool. Ah, here we go. Someone bringing concrete resources. Finally. So, the other rocket is 40% here. So, hopefully, we will get a brand new launch pad, our landing pad, before it gets here. I'm excited, man. 46%. Our new
Sector
colonists are almost here. And, whoa, four new anomalies? Already at 6, so we're definitely going to have a brand new landing pad for our Genesis rocket. Also looking good on our resources overall. At least we've got enough to sustain us until we can get some resources here. I think that's the last for this rocket too. I think we're ready to send it home. There it is, ready to go. We'll be launching Exodus back home. Sometimes these rockets will automatically return home or return to Mars. Like they'll go to Earth and just basically turn around and come back with nothing on them. I hope that at least one of these stays there so that I can reload it and bring the prefab buildings that I need. So there it is, the first time since the founding of our colony that we have not had a rocket on the ground. Oh,
the analysis tells us that we found iridium-rich sulfides.
Ooh.
That's a real rarity on Earth.
Reduces the cost of physics text by 10%. Excellent. More science boosts. And we have our new landing pad. It's our passenger and our cargo landing pads. Excellent. So it looks like our passengers are going to arrive sometime on Sol 8. Let's make sure there's nothing else that we need to add. I think we've got everything. We've got a grocer, a diner. We'll wait to build the infirmary until I have the prefab buildings, and that way I can know where everything is going to go. But we do need to go ahead and put down polymer factories. Go ahead and put that down. And it will need life support and power. No, I'm just going to do that. So it's built. Because then we're going to build a pipe system. Actually, does it need life support? I can't remember. I can't remember if it needs life support or not. But it's a prefab, so it should go up pretty quickly. Any other prefabs I'm missing? For a metals extractor. I don't have anything to use that on yet. Polymers factory is going up. A couple other drones that have come out to help it out. Yep, it needs water and power. Figures. Okay. So we'll start with the life support. And we'll build our power cables underneath. Got our basically our dome at this point is almost completely surrounded by by pipes and power cables and everything else. As the colony gets bigger, we will start kind of cleaning up some of the infrastructure, but a lot of this stuff is really just meant to get the place, off the ground. All right. Our colonists are almost here, 95%. So, machine parts factory. Oh. Oh yeah, let's do that. So we've ordered a supply drop. We'll be able to get more stuff once the rockets get back to Earth, but the supply drop will be here much quicker. And we'll be able to build the electronics factory. Machine parts factory. Because that's critical. Our colonists have arrived, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, on Sol 8, the first inhabitants of Bristol Colony on Mars are making their descent from the depths of outer space to join us here on the dusty red surface. Let's hope they're ready for this. And there they are. The landing pads still throw out a lot of dust, but it doesn't affect the surrounding. All right.
Research.
Full of hope and determination, the first founders have set foot on the Red Planet.
So this begins. Oh, and our new high-rise was researched. Did that give us the? So it gives us apartment complexes, which is nice. I was wondering if it would build us the. If it would grant us. There goes our colonists. See everyone. Welcome to Mars, everyone. There they go. And we can actually zoom in, and we're going to be able to see our little people as they arrive and are so happy to be here. That guy's got a cool outfit. I thought her head was yellow, but it's blonde. And so everyone's going around to find their place. Hey, are they heading out to make polymers? Yes. Nice. Oh, it doesn't have power? Whoops. That's a quick fix. Probably doesn't have sufficient water because it doesn't have sufficient power. But it is nice that we've got so many people that are interested in making polymers for a living. We're also looking at a lot of resources being unloaded here. Food, 114 food. And we're also seeing our refueling.
Until today, the only place we'd thought you could find Ice-15 outside of a lab was on an icy planet or a moon. And here we find it on Mars.
Ooh. So we found a new material that gave us an additional 500 million funding. There goes our little RC guy. See, they're hauling the colonists' food away. You can see there's no oh, I think services. Hydroponics farm. That was the other thing that we needed, because we need to be able to generate food. I knew I was forgetting something other than the prefab electronics or machine parts factory. So, but our colony is alive, everyone. Ah, there's one. The colonist working here in the grocery store. So the founder stage. Let's talk real quick about the founder stage. Founder stage is kind of a challenge thing where you have 10 days, 10 sols. So, and it counts down up there in the top. There's no way to get rid of that indicator. But for the next 10 sols, we cannot bring any more colonists to Mars. So we're stuck with the 12 people that we have, which is one of the reasons I went in and changed some of the some of the people to be engineers, because I need engineers to be able to make certain items in the factories and the labs. And they're researching one. And so that's a little bit of a challenge, but it's still fun. So, and what we're going to do, as far as I mentioned, I want to terraform, but we will wait until after the founders phase is over before we do any terraforming. There it is. Our transport pod is here. So let's land it in the exact same spot as the other one. It's a single transport pod bringing us a machine parts factory. There it is. Should pop open. It's like it had a great landing and then it just decides to spaz out. Okay, so along with the hydroponics stuff, yep, there's our machine parts factory. And it takes up a whole section of the dome, which is one of the reasons I wanted to wait to place the infirmary as well. So in a few minutes, we'll have our hydroponics farm, and then we will have our machine parts factory going up as well. How are we doing over here? Yep. Looking good. Polymers are good. We've got 6 people. Nice. Colony's looking good. Bristol's really taking off. They're still unloading food. They brought a lot of food with them. And up, you can see there in the dome, our machine parts plant is going up. Nice. So all of the buildings that I needed are up and running. We've got hydroponics, and then I also wanted to put an infirmary. So we need a place for the sick to go. Put it back here. So next to the machine plant near hydroponics. Where are you guys going? Going to rest. Nice. And so as you can see, our residence is full now. So we can't bring any more colonists, obviously because of the founders challenge at the moment, but also because we just don't have room for them. So in order to bring more colonists, we're going to have to build apartment complexes in this dome, or we're going to have to build a second dome with additional housing. Depending on how things go, we may start with an apartment complex in this dome so that we can make sure that all of our utilities are filled with workers, everybody's being productive, and that we can sustain all of this stuff before we start expanding it anymore.
Research complete.
All right, and then water reclamation. So we should be able to build our first spire. And we are going to build our first spire. And so spires are special buildings that go in the center of each dome. The water reclamation is among the first that you unlock in the game, typically. And it helps to reclaim up to 70% of the water that is used inside the dome. So it's really, really useful. So we'll see our infirmary go up, and then our water reclamation spire should go up. So we've got a school, a factory, infirmary, and we've got people working. Nice. These are the materials that we're going to need to maintain the equipment that's here on Mars, because when stuff breaks down, it typically needs a combination of polymers, machine parts, or metals or whatever. But some of that stuff you can find on the surface, and then others it has to be manufactured. And it looks like we are well under our way. I think we're looking at the last couple of supplies being delivered for our infirmary to go up. So one more piece of concrete should be enough to get our infirmary up. We're starting to generate hydroponics, which is nice. And let's check out our production. Looking good here. So we've got enough power for 1 sol, 8 sols worth of oxygen. No, 11 sols worth of oxygen and 8 sols worth of water. So we have more than enough to carry us beyond the founders phase, founders stage. Should some kind of a catastrophe happen, let's just hope that things continue to be as smooth as they have been. And there goes our infirmary. So we're going to have a hospital, which will be nice. Mars is dangerous, and you can bet on people getting hurt out here, and want to make sure that we have a place to treat them. All right, so we've got an infirmary. I don't think we have any medics available. We may not, but we've got a place. Do we have one? Nope. Has a hydroponics worker. And so we are working now to complete our first spire. So, and let's go ahead. So Genesis is still filling up, and it's still got 42 food left, but let's go ahead and order a cargo rocket. Let's see here. Let's get us at least one more of those. A few more drones. You really can never have too many of these things. And some more moisture evaporators. Oh, wow. Let's bring one of these. So, there. Nice. That is a nice selection of cargo that is on its way. Bunch of prefab buildings, some more drone hubs, some more drones, an RC Safari, which I haven't used one of those before. That'll be kind of neat. So no matter what happens, we definitely will stick with this episode until the spire will get done in this episode, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Nice to see that our moisture evaporators and our stuff is being maintained really well by our little robot buddies. Like I said, the stuff that is related to our life support systems needs to be high priority. So all of our power generation stuff. And when we start to build our second dome, whenever that is, we will build an auxiliary power system. So we won't expand this one anymore, at least not now. We'll build a second power system, probably out here. We may even build a second concrete collector. That way we can kind of build it as semi-self-sustaining. See how we're doing down here on our materials. So, doing pretty good. We're about halfway there. Let's zoom in and spy on our friends here. Anybody home? Hello. There's some nice houses on Mars. Check this out. Let's go in the kitchen here. Nice little kitchen, stove, and lights, and we've got a nice little park here they can hang out in. I mean, this is cool. I love the retro future design. There goes one of our little drone buddies. There's a couple of them working on the spire. We've got a lot of our materials being stacked up. Polymers and machine parts are going to be easy, but it's going to be the concrete that's a little bit harder for us to get. Looking good. More concrete on the way. So now we're just waiting on the final concrete deliveries, and we'll be able to raise our spire. We've still got 8 sols to go. We've got 2 buildings not working because we don't have anyone to work them. So we didn't bring a medic. And apparently we didn't bring anyone to work at the diner, which is sad. Oh, new message.
We just confirmed the location of a metal-rich deposit. A drilling accident turned to our advantage.
All right, so we've got a new metal deposit. Nice. We have one to the north of us that we haven't exploited yet, but we will eventually. There's a better view. I mean, I love the dynamics of this game. So we started out building from the sky, and as things go along, we're going to be able to kind of get down and see our colonists living their daily lives in Bristol. It's really cool. Like I said, we're going to hang out until the spire goes up at least, and then that will probably be the end of this episode, but we are not going to stop until we have a spire, because that is what we aspire to. Sorry, I did that on purpose, and I apologize. 27 out of 40. So we started off missing a few buildings in this dome and needing some of our prefab stuff to be delivered from Earth. We had no colonists, but we had a plan to get colonists here, and now look at us. We've built an impressive power generation system, oxygen, water. Everything is running smoothly. We've got some colonists that seem to be pretty happy. They're walking around and being productive. And we are about 10 pieces of concrete away from erecting the first spire in the center of our dome. So not only bringing our first colonists, but bringing a special structure to the center of our dome, which will reclaim 70% of the water that we use, and that is awesome.
Milestone achieved.
Ooh, we produced our first food. What are we doing over here? Let's go with that. That's a out-of-dome building that produces fungi. See how our production is going. So it's nighttime, so a lot of the lights are coming on. Our power demand is going up, but it is not enough to really affect us. I wonder how we lost on our stored power. That's odd. We'll have to get out of the dome at some point and check the power accumulators to make sure that that one of them's not malfunctioning. We've got a capacity of 1600, but only stored power of 1496, which means we're either at some point in the day not generating enough, or we've got a power accumulator that's malfunctioning somewhere. And then our oxygen life support system is awesome. The Moxie is one thing that we will be building a second. So the life support system and the power will pretty much double it if we build a second dome. We're one piece of concrete away. I'm seeing our water reclamation spire go up.
Sector scanned.
And there's our last piece. There are some gorgeous spires in this game. There are some that are high-rise apartment buildings that stretch out of the top of the dome, and we will definitely be building a few of those once we've researched the technology and earned the right to. But for now, we'll start with the basics, something essential that can help us to survive a little more efficiently as we try to solidify our foothold here on the Red Planet. There comes some more drones to help with the construction. Teamwork. There's another one on the back side coming in the door. Almost there. I think I said this in one of my Stellaris playthroughs because buildings in that game are kind of built a lot of the same way. I wonder if this is the future of colonization. So when we actually do colonize Mars for real, will we be 3D printing our buildings out of raw materials like this? It would be really a sight to see. So it's daylight. Buildings are shutting down. Rest just in time for our water reclamation system to go online. And there it is. Excellent. Look at that. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the current state of our colony. We have 12 colonists that are here right now. And we have a rocket ready to take off, so that's exciting. And we are about to have our resupply rocket land and bring us a bunch of new goodies to make things a little bit easier for our upcoming expansion. That is really cool. Hey, things are looking bright on the surface of Mars as we have our first colonists. We've entered our founder stage. It is Sol 10. And that is the end of episode 2 of the Bristol Colony series. Thank you, everyone, for sticking with me and watching. I'm Commander Exorcist. I'll see you in the next one. Fly safe, take care, and I will see you out there. Good night, everyone.